Hello folks, this is the latest engine, the Bowman E101. This is a rather classy top of the range item. It comes in a robust box. If that looks rather old fashioned, it is. This machine dates from somewhere between 1927 and 1935. There's plenty of information available on these in the most excellent British toy steaming engines and boats book, written by Colin Laker. It really is a wonderful tome. Inside we've got some reproductions of the original catalogues with all the full details about it. And as you can see, in 1928 it was 32 shillings and sixpence. Now that was quite a lot of money in the time. Although if you just feed that number into the Bank of England's calculator, it comes out and says that's worth £100. In fact, that was also a week's wages for a skilled man. So it's a very privileged child who had one of these. And comparing salaries, that's a little bit much more like a £500 to £700 engine, which is very much in the D24, Willesco D24 category. So what do you get for your money? Well, the answer is a very big boiler, that's 6 inches by 3 inches in diameter, which is easily a good pint of boiling water, and a very robust engine with very massive frame, a flywheel that weighs a full pound, and quite a good gear reduction ratio with some quite robust looking gears. That gives you some real torque on there. The cylinder is contained within this casing, which means it's very well lubricated. I believe it's about 3/8 diameter, but the stroke is a full inch. It's absolutely enormous, so very torquey. And one of the other features is this lubricator, which constantly drips oil into the casing, so the cylinder's really swimming in oil, and that seems to do them an awful lot of good, quite frankly. So a very powerful machine, of course driven by quite a significant lamp with that runs for well over an hour, supposedly a good hour and a half. It's quite narrow and long, and I think what that is it's very efficient. It puts a flame over a lot of the bottom of the boiler, but doesn't waste a lot of flame, if you know what I mean. You don't see flames coming out the side of these very much, and I think that's quite efficient. Now there are some downsides. There's a stay through the middle of the boiler that is also used to keep the chimney on, and it's steel, so obviously it rusts, and at some point they need replacing. It's not a difficult job, but it's people do get a bit worried about having to do soldering. And another dodgy feature is the exhaust pipe, which goes into the chimney and kind of has to be wrestled out every time. And you can see this one's very bent and has probably been repaired more than once. There's no silicone tube in those days, so this is really the only way you could do it. But it's nice to have an exhaust up the chimney, sort of not just spraying oil and steam at you all the time. And of course the wooden base is actually on 3 feet, so because they tend to warp with the grain. There was a metal version available, so some people have got something that maybe lasts a bit longer, but of course the metal one does rust, so you pay your money and takes your choice. And the other option, I'm not sure how many years this was available, there was a regulator that sort of went in the pipe here. And I think that would be quite useful, because that's, with such a powerful engine, you do kind of want to keep it under control sometimes. So this has come to me. It's in very good condition. The box stinks. It's obviously the box has been kept in a damp shed at some point. I'm going to have to do something about the dreadful mouldy smell. But it's come with some instructions and a spare Meccano wheel. And this sort of gives you a good scale, because that's a standard Meccano 1/4 inch, whatever it is, 1/8 inch diameter, and you see the shafts are quite bigger, so their journal size is quite large, and that just helps for longevity. It helps quite a bit. The other thing I need to sort out is I need a new spring for my safety valve. They come apart very easily, so they're very serviceable. All I need is a nice stainless steel one from a biro, and to cut that to the right length, and I'm on my way. So there you have it. That's a classy piece of equipment. Looks beautiful on the shelf, but also runs very well. I think they're extremely good value. You can get them for a couple of £100. Even if you pay a bit more than that, as I say, it's still a lot cheaper than a modern engine, so you can't really complain. Very, very nice piece of equipment indeed. Right, let's see what we can do about getting it running. Well, while I wait for what I'm sure is going to be an interminable age, I've just filled this up with oil, and you can just see a tiny drip coming off of there. It's going to take ages and ages to just gently drip in. It's probably a little bit thick. There's a mark on this. Isn't an original thing. This is something's made. This little stopcock thing, and if I pull that out, you can see there's a hole there, and it's cross drilled into there. So that's basically what's how it's. Let's get this in focus. That's how it's dripping out. So pretty cool, really. I quite like that. Let's see how well it works. Here we go, as ever. You just got to wait a couple more minutes. That's better. Back on the tripod. I'll just leave this for a few minutes for you to admire it. Well, I'm going to enjoy myself anyhow. Right, now we're proper hot. We're getting a lot of steam out the chimney. So that's looking quite good. And you can start to hear a little bit of a knocking on the big end, which of course flanges out. Right, I've got a bit of a flat battery problem, so I think this is probably going to have to be it for the night. Thanks for joining me. It's going very well now. It's been running for 40 minutes and it seems to be generating some real power. Let's kind of put a bit of a brake on it. Well, I don't think there's much pressure there. I think this safety valve bubbling away is letting a little bit too much out. So you can see I've got a little bit of work there to make sure it contains all the proper pressure. Well, thank you very much, and let's look forward to the next video. Another minor little glitch, the condensate hasn't got anywhere to go. It kind of just leaks out a little bit. Not too surprised at that, a lot of things do that. Just going to show you that the engine is actually shaking the entire table and making everything jabber, especially this tissue. That's what you get with a great big flywheel.